Welcome to a brand new episode of History Glitch. Today we are completely leaving behind tragic shipwrecks, fatal disasters, and malicious financial scams to examine what is easily the most wholesome, hilarious, and bizarre social glitch in human history. We are exploring a time when the societal matrix simply decided to play along with a joke for 20 years, how a bankrupt merchant lost his mind, declared himself the absolute emperor of the United States, and instead of throwing him in an asylum, an entire city decided to bow down, accept his currency, and treat him like royalty. We are diving into William Drury's brilliant historical account, Norton I, Emperor of the United States. To understand how a glitch like this could even survive, we have to look at San Francisco in the 1850s. Following the California gold rush, San Francisco was not a normal, law-abiding city. It was a wild, booming, theatrical metropolis made of gamblers, miners, fortune seekers, and eccentric pioneers. It was a place where fortunes were made and lost overnight, and the city possessed a fierce pride and a deep love for the absurd. Enter Joshua Abraham Norton. Born in England and raised in South Africa, Norton arrived in San Francisco in 1849 with a handsome inheritance of $40,000, equivalent to over $1 million today. For several years, he was a respected, successful real estate investor and commodity merchant. But in 1852, Norton made a catastrophic financial gamble. Facing a severe famine in China that caused rice prices in San Francisco to skyrocket, Norton tried to corner the entire rice market by buying a massive incoming Peruvian shipment. Unfortunately for him, ship after ship of rice suddenly arrived from other ports, crashing the market. Norton lost every single penny. By 1858, after endless lawsuits, he was declared completely bankrupt. He vanished into the working-class boarding houses of the city, devastated and broke. When Joshua Norton re-emerged in September 1859, something in his brain had fundamentally shifted. He walked into the offices of the San Francisco Bulletin and handed the editor a formal written proclamation. The newspaper, realizing this was pure comedy gold, actually printed it on September 17th. The decree read, "At the peremptory request and desire of a large majority of the citizens, I, Joshua Norton, declare and proclaim myself Emperor of these United States." A few months later, hearing rumors of instability down south, he officially added the title, "and Protector of Mexico," to his resume. Now, in almost any other city or era, an impoverished man declaring himself ruler of the nation would be quietly arrested for vagrancy or locked away in a lunatic asylum. But this is where the history glitch happens. Instead of rejecting the delusion, the entire city of San Francisco experienced a collective social simulation override. They simply said, "You know what? Sure, why not?" and accepted him as their absolute monarch. Within weeks, Joshua Norton transformed into Emperor Norton I. He acquired an elaborate gold-epauletted blue military uniform, generously donated by officers of the local army post, complete with a beaver hat decorated with peacock feathers, a ceremonial sword, and an umbrella. Every single day, the emperor would patrol the streets of San Francisco, inspecting the condition of the sidewalks, checking the security of public buildings, and chatting with his loyal subjects. The level of institutional compliance with this delusion is staggering. The best and most expensive restaurants in San Francisco, like the famous Palace Hotel, never charged Emperor Norton a dime. In fact, restaurant owners proudly hung brass plaques in their windows boasting, "By appointment to His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Norton I." It was the ultimate marketing hack. Having the emperor dine at your establishment drew crowds of paying tourists. When Norton attended the theater or the opera, the opening curtain was literally held until His Majesty arrived, and he was escorted to a reserved VIP box while the audience stood and applauded. Even the public infrastructure adapted to him. When the emperor needed to travel around the Bay Area, the Central Pacific Railroad and the local ferry companies issued him lifetime solid gold passes, which conductors honored without a moment's hesitation. But the absolute peak of this financial and social glitch was the currency. Because an emperor needs royal revenues, Norton began printing his own official imperial currency, promissory notes ranging from 50 cents to $10, featuring his royal seal and a drawing of himself. He would walk into a saloon, order a meal or a drink, and pay with his own self-printed money. And here is the wildest part. The merchants of San Francisco accepted it at face value. Banks cashed his notes, tourists bought them as souvenirs, and local businesses traded them like real US dollars because they knew the emperor's credit was backed by the collective goodwill of the entire city. Of course, Emperor Norton didn't just enjoy the perks of royalty. He took his job as ruler very seriously, issuing dozens of imperial decrees in local newspapers. While many were hilarious, like ordering the arrest of anyone who dared to use the word Frisco instead of San Francisco, many of his decrees revealed an astonishing, ahead-of-his-time wisdom. As America was tearing itself apart during the Civil War, Emperor Norton officially abolished both the Republican and Democratic parties to preserve national unity. Long before the League of Nations was invented, he ordered the formation of a League of Peace between nations to resolve global disputes without war. He also fiercely defended minority rights, issuing strict edicts protecting the city's Chinese and Native American populations from police harassment and mob violence. Perhaps his most visionary glitch occurred in 1872, when Emperor Norton ordered the immediate construction of a suspension bridge connecting San Francisco to Oakland, even drawing specific routing maps for it. The city's engineers laughed, calling it technically impossible. Yet 64 years later, in 1936, the iconic San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge was built, virtually on the exact coordinates mapped out by the crazy monarch. The ultimate proof of how deeply the system had embraced this glitch occurred in 1867. A rookie, overzealous police officer named Armand Barbier arrested Emperor Norton on the street, charging him with vagrancy and attempting to commit him to a mental institution. San Francisco erupted in absolute outrage. Newspapers printed scathing front-page editorials denouncing the police department for treason against the crown. Citizens threatened to riot. Within 24 hours, the chief of police ordered Norton's immediate release, issued a formal public apology to His Imperial Majesty, and ordered every police officer in the city to salute the emperor whenever he passed them on the street. Norton, showing royal magnanimity, formally pardoned the young rookie police officer who had arrested him. For 20 years, Joshua Norton lived a life of peaceful, beloved royalty, proving that sometimes kindness and humor can completely rewrite the rules of society. On the rainy evening of January 8, 1880, while walking to a lecture at the California Academy of Sciences, the 61-year-old emperor collapsed on the sidewalk from a stroke. By the time a police officer arrived, Norton I, Emperor of the United States and Protector of Mexico, had dead in the street, his pockets containing only a few coins and his own imperial currency. The morning after his death, the San Francisco Chronicle ran a front-page headline with 5 simple words, "Le roi est mort," the king is dead. What followed was one of the most astonishing funerals in American history. Emperor Norton was a poor man who lived in a tiny boarding house room, yet the wealthy members of the Pacific Club refused to let him be buried in a pauper's grave. They pooled their money to buy him a magnificent rosewood casket adorned with silver. On the day of his funeral, businesses closed, and over 30,000 people, nearly a quarter of San Francisco's entire population, lined the streets to pay their final respects to their imaginary king. Rich bankers, poor laborers, Chinese immigrants, and high society ladies marched together in a 2-mile-long procession. In 1934, when his grave was relocated to Woodlawn Cemetery, the city held a second military funeral with full honors where the municipal band played, and a monument was erected reading, "Joshua A. Norton, Emperor of the United States and Protector of Mexico." The story of Emperor Norton is the ultimate heartwarming history glitch. It proves that a system error doesn't always lead to chaos, destruction, or tragedy. When Joshua Norton's mind broke under the weight of financial ruin, the city of San Francisco didn't reject him. They absorbed the glitch. They collectively bent reality, proving that an entire society can choose empathy, imagination, and joy over rigid bureaucratic rules. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the lighter, more bizarre side of historical glitches, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode of History Glitch. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next system override.